apply this lavishly. Oh. Your fingers get really dirty. That doesn't look good. I don't like this. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today we are doing something pretty fun, interesting, a little different. I'm going to be following a vintage 1960s makeup tutorial. So this is an authentic makeup tutorial that was made back in the 1960s, and this is how women actually used to do their makeup, and this is how they were taught to do their makeup. But it's really interesting just to see how they used to do it back then and the products and the techniques that they used versus today, you know, and there's a lot of similarities I was noticing. There's definitely a few differences too, but there's quite a few similarities, so I don't think there's been too much that has changed in the makeup industry, but I mean there's still been a lot, but I feel like we still use some of the same tips and tricks and techniques that they used back in the day. It's a 1-minute makeup tutorial. I chose a really quick one because I didn't want to follow a super long tutorial and then have it take forever. So I wanted a really like lickety-split tutorial. So this tutorial is literally called Vintage Makeup Tutorial, parentheses, 1960, and it's from the channel glamourdaze. It's a 1-minute tutorial. So let's get started with this tutorial. I have no makeup on right now besides a little bit of concealer because my skin is not as good as their skin. I don't know what they were doing back then. But otherwise, I have no eyebrows. Well, I do have eyebrows, but they're not done. No mascara, no eye makeup, no other face makeup. So let's start the video.
There are ways and ways of putting on the base. The correct way, dab it on in spots, then smooth it in.
So the first step is to dab it into spots and smooth it on in. Okay, so I guess they didn't use a brush back then. Well, I guess I use a beauty blender. I know that's what a lot of people use, but it looks like they're using more of a foundation, but I'm out of my foundation. What I've been using is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. And what they literally did is they dotted it all over the face. Ooh, I'm gonna have to do this looking into the viewfinder. But they just did a bunch of dots and they smooth it out with their fingers. They used a pretty generous amount. How do they apply it?
Rouge should be a...
Oh, they didn't say. This is a very quickie. It looks like they were just going in like this. Instead of smearing it, I'm gonna try patting it, because I know that's usually better to do when applying makeup. Funny enough, I used to only apply my foundation with my fingers for the longest time. I never used a brush or a beauty blender. I was pretty late to the game. Now I love my beauty blender and I can't imagine putting my makeup on with my fingers every day, but I guess that's what I used to do. So I used to do it because Bethany Moda used to do it. And I would watch Bethany Moda's I'd watch Bethany Moda's videos and she would say, oh yeah, apply your makeup with your hands because the warmth of your hands helps blend the product better. That's what she always used to say, and I guess it's kind of true, right? I really need to get a little mirror. Here we go. There's a mirror in this palette. This is a very sheer tinted moisturizer product. It's not as full coverage. I don't like this. I don't like applying it with my fingers as much. It's just hard to blend it in. I think that's decent. I think that's as good as it's gonna get for now. So next,
In 3 dots on the cheekbones, fairly high near the eyes. Then there's eyeshadow.
we're on to the next step real quick. This is a 1-minute makeup tutorial. So I got rouge, and rouge is blush. That's another name for blush. And it looks like they were using a liquid blush, so I picked myself up a liquid blush from Juice Beauty. And this one is called Last Looks Cream Blush in the color Seashell. And she said 3 dots. Oh, that's a lot of product. I went a little bit overboard with this. This is my first time using this product, so I don't usually use cream blushes. I use powder blushes. Oh, I kind of messed this up. I was not expecting it to be that pigmented. Now I feel like I look like a clown a little bit, but hopefully I can just smooth it out and it'll be fixed. Okay, I just went to go put my hair back because it was kind of getting in the way of doing my makeup. But I got the blush on. It's a little strong. Okay.
Which should be stippled on to the upper corners of the eye.
So next is eyeshadow. It says to be stippled on the upper corner of the eyes. I feel like that's still kind of true to today. I'm using this Too Faced Natural Matte eyeshadow palette. This is an eyeshadow palette I use a lot. And they didn't say what colors. I think they used a lot of different colors back in the day. I'm just going to use this strapless. This color strapless. It's kind of a warm brown tone. Oh, it looks like she's applying it with her pinky finger. I'm gonna go like this. This is still something I do a lot actually. Not with my fingers, I use a brush. And they're using their fingers for this, which is really interesting. And there's no primer. So literally just using my pinky finger, going in the outer corner. Oh. Your fingers get really dirty. Oh, that doesn't look good. I gotta make them match. Does that look okay? It's actually kind of easy to blend with your finger. Well, I guess this is gonna have to do. It looks kind of, let me do a close up. Oh, this is really close up. Ooh, that was the eyes.
Powder is the one thing to use lavishly. Let it stay on for about 5 seconds, then smooth it off.
He said powder is the one thing that they apply lavishly. I'm using the Bare Minerals Original Fairly Light Foundation Powder. It looks like they were using a tissue to apply it. I got some toilet paper. Ooh. Why does it look like it was a tissue that they were using? I could be totally off, but I've never used this powder before either. This is a tinted powder, so it has some foundation color in it. I need to blend this out more. He said apply lavishly, so I'm really gonna follow his word and apply this lavishly all over my face like an elegant person. Oh, this is not blending at all with this piece of toilet paper. Okay, it's actually looking okay according to this mirror. Still a bit blotchy. Then smooth it out with the tissue. Are you kidding me? I feel like they had some, but why does it look like a tissue? Or is it a cloth? Yeah, I am totally dumb. I think what they were actually using is like a powder puff thing. Or maybe it was like a very soft tissue, because I am dumb. And why was I thinking it was a tissue? It probably didn't use a tissue, unless it's like a really soft Kleenex tissue maybe. It's starting to look really, really cakey. I don't know what kind of powders they were using, but when you apply lots and lots of powder, it starts to make it look really cakey. So I think that's one thing that we've learned nowadays is we have setting sprays and then we don't apply as much powder usually, except with baking, but you don't bake all over your face usually. You just bake at the high points of your face. I don't really have much to wipe off. Didn't really. All my blush is covered up. All my blush is gone from all the powder. Okay.
Then comes the mascara. It's better put on in
She quickly brushed through the brows, but it doesn't look like they applied anything to the brows. So she brushed through the brows really quickly. I got this little eyebrow spoolie thing. So I don't have one of those brush things, but I think a little eyebrow spoolie is probably good enough. They're not filling their brows. That's more of a recent thing, isn't it?
coats than one heavy one.
So now, mascara coats. They were using a different type of brush. but I'm just going to stick with the Tarte, I think it's the Tarte Tartest mascara. So 2 thin coats instead of 1 thick one. Got it. Now I gotta let it dry, take a sip of my drink. Now I'm gonna do the second thin coat. There we go. It looks like they just did only the top lashes.
To apply the lipstick, the girls are taught to use a brush. And if you can wait 5 minutes before blotting, then do.
Use a brush. Got
Finally,
it.
a light powder over with a compact.
Pause. Okay, I'm using the Urban Decay Liar Cream lipstick. So I don't have like a real lipstick brush, but I have this little eyeshadow brush thing, which I think will do practically the same thing. This formula does feel really nice, this Urban Decay lipstick. It's very moisturizing, and the pigment is definitely there.
5 minutes before blotting, then do.
Wait, 5 minutes before blotting. Ain't nobody got time for that. Why wait 5 minutes, I wonder? Is it just to let the product settle?
Finally, a light powder over with a compact.
And then a light powder. Oh, that's all. I'm using this like Tarte powder. Just white. So with the powders that they're putting on, that's to really set the makeup. Since they didn't have primers and setting sprays and all that stuff, they used the powders and that locked it in. It makes it look really matte and not glossy, but I think that was the style, right? I think the style was kind of matte. Here is the finished makeup look, all zoomed in. Looking into a mirror, let me look at it one more time. Let me give my final thoughts. Wait, this mirror is very dirty. This one's better. So, definitely a little bit cakey. My face actually does look pretty flawless to an extent, for sure. My skin looks actually pretty even, but definitely some cakiness on my forehead and then kind of around my nose and on my cheeks because I just kept pressing in so much powder. My lips actually look pretty good. I think my eyeshadow actually doesn't look too bad. My eyes actually look okay. A little harder to use your finger, but also it was not as hard as you would think. And then my brows are just my brows and that's it. But overall, I would say maybe I would give this makeup maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10. Like a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, because it wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't terrible either. Like I'd probably walk out the door looking like this. I don't think it's like a total nightmare by any means. So thank you guys for watching. Definitely like this video and subscribe to be notified when I post new videos. I would love for you to stick around on my YouTube channel, and definitely let me know below if you'd like to see me do other decades of makeup. I think that would be super interesting and fun. So definitely let me know, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye! I got some toilet paper.